Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, and welcome to episode 10 of Discheads. Where the did that go? You're going to hear a lot of quacks in this episode because there's a lot of swearing because of the title of this episode. But yes, we've hit episode 10, and what was this, Ben? We said it was like a double entendre or something because it's like an anniversary of like so many different things. What is it exactly?
It's a year since we started playing while me and Dan.
Yeah.
Well, coming up for a year, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the 10th episode, which
it's
weird.
Where the did that go? And we're going to talk about like losing our discs in the forest and stuff, and that's where the title originally came from because we like to play a game called Where the did that go?
Absolutely love it. So yeah, you've got me, one of the co-hosts on the podcast, Lee. We've got Ben returning. Ben's a bit nasally, but I'm hoping he powers through.
I'm here.
He's here. He's surviving. And then the main man, Dan, is here. But we have a bit special guest, but we're going to introduce him after Dan runs through what we're going to be doing this episode.
Indeed. So we're going to be talking about tournaments. We're going to have a disc of the week, a beginner tip. As I said, we're going to be talking about losing our discs in the forest and the shrubbery. We're going to be telling some disco stories. But firstly, our special guest, my brother from the same mother, Richard. So how are you?
Yeah, Rich. Welcome to the cast, mate.
Good. So as we said, it's coming up for a year that me and Ben started playing, and a few months in, so we've been playing in August, September, October, November, December. We've been playing about 4 or 5 months before I managed to convince my brother to come for a game. By this point, Lee was already playing and established as well. So, and I talked to Ben about this earlier. The interesting thing about Richard is that when me and Ben started playing, we had no one to compare ourselves to other than ourselves and pros. We weren't playing with anybody else. We could see how good we did on scoreboards and stuff, but because we were brand new, we kind of expected not to be top of a 5-man scoreboard where the other players are regular visitors to Bedworth. So when Lee came along, me and Ben were a month in, so
yeah, it was
you
kind
weren't
of
that
exciting.
far behind me and Ben, were you? So
no, it was exciting though because it was kind of like I'm the least competitive guy ever, but then that shows elements of being competitive. Going like, why can't I throw it like this or that? But it's been fun. It has been like a really cool progression though at the same time.
So we've been playing for let's say 5 months before Richard came along and played with us. So by the time Richard you came along
in February,
we knew what we were doing. So week 1 for you, you're trying to throw these quite heavy frisbees and
I had all your first time frisbees, didn't I? Didn't have nothing decent for the first time.
Oh yeah, we'll never give anyone decent frisbees for the first time.
Don't want to get showed up day one.
Yeah.
Like, give them the concrete ones.
I think it was my second week. You gave me the mystery. And
no, I'd given you Mr. week 1.
Yeah.
It was about hole 15 that you started to realise that you had to put a bit of power into it. And
yeah.
If I remember right, you basically cleared hole 15 and everyone was like, way! And then
it went a pretty long way.
It went a long
way. I would want this disc. I still haven't got one.
But what I found quite interesting is that I called you up next day and was like, how was it? Did you enjoy it? What do you reckon? And you was like, it was alright.
Yeah.
It's such a British answer, isn't it? It's just like I was like, did you enjoy it? Yeah, it was alright. Because that's always is. I think we're not really that enthusiastic as Brits, are we, about things? We're not like very American, like, yeah, it was amazing, I had a really good time. We're like, yeah, it was alright.
But then by midweek, you'd rang me and gone, I can't stop looking at discs and disc golf courses. And
Look where we are now.
Yeah.
And you've not missed a week since.
No.
That's true.
It's like just really, really.
It takes over you.
Yeah.
And other than work, I mean,
It's effective.
obviously I've known you all your life, and other than work, you've never really been that committed to anything. Football maybe, but
No, yeah, that was when I was younger though.
Yeah, that's when we were kids. Like, but as an adult, you're not really committed to anything.
No.
You go out and socialise and do stuff,
That's it.
but
You just commit to the kids, and that's about it.
yeah.
Other than that,
But disc golf's come along, and you're the same as me. Like, I mean, I'm the same. I've never really committed to a team or anything like that outside of work and the kids.
Sorry, just for the listeners, Ben is literally just burping, taking his shirt off. He's literally melting in front of us. There we go. He's all good. Make yourself comfortable, bro. He's okay.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here. Sorry.
Talking about
Yeah, so talk us through your experience from your point of view, like coming in and playing and.
Well, I just found that I've just picked it up quite easily, and I'm now finding, obviously, my driving was really good, but I just couldn't do my putting. And now, because I've been practicing, I'm now there, and I think I've near enough got putting on the tee, so...
Yeah. It's like a Happy Gilmore effect.
Yeah,
Like,
and-
Rich has the longest drive out of all of us, and his short game needed to improve, and now he's kind of like long drive's still there, and his putting has improved. So it's kind of like almost like a complete circle. Almost.
Your putting's improved tenfold.
Yeah.
Like, it's loads better. And for those of you that actually watch the YouTube videos, you notice that Richard's name is PhD, and that stands for Pretty Huge Drive. Originally, it was going to be Happy Gilmore because, in all honesty, he was still getting bogeys and double bogeys, but he was driving to the basket.
Yeah. Just literally just going to figure out this other bit.
Just hit the basket or like miss it completely.
Yeah.
But now, you know, I was saying your putting game's really improved. Your approach game is loads better.
That's just bought a basket.
Yeah?
That's
Bought
it.
a basket, put it in the garden, boom.
Yeah, practice. Lots and lots of practice.
Literally lots of practice.
It is every other day. It's like, I've gone out and had a few chucks, and you're like, yeah, you can tell. You can tell Rich is getting good because he's like, yeah, I'm just casually practicing for an hour or two a day.
It ended up 3 hours that day you come round.
Yeah, that was
I
sick.
started at about, I think it was like quarter to 1. And, no, it was about 12:30. And then, you left it about just gone 3, weren't it?
Yeah, just after 3, yeah. I was expecting it to be like kind of like a Karate Kid kind of experience where Rich is actually not throwing discs. He's like painting and doing stuff like Mr. Miyagi would do. And then just like, how did you get good? I was just waxing my van and cleaning this and doing that. Just like, but no, it's really fun to see because obviously like the progression of all of us, we can all say where we were and where we are now is kind of tenfold. And so I think it's for me looking at it as well, it's just how quickly you've picked it up. But I think that's what disc golf is though as well. I think it's so accessible and so easy to pick up. It's kind of like football, if you will, because you can kick a ball, but it's like mastering it and understanding the little things is kind of, that's what you can progress on.
But, you know, we're at the end of July now, since February, which has gone from the worst player to the best player.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
And the weird thing for me, and I was saying this to Leanne, my wife, that what's a little bit odd for me is growing up, I've always been better than you at everything.
I love this brother rivalry.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I've always said you're better with me, your hands, like your maintenance and building shit and like doing that kind of stuff. But when it comes to like sport and stuff, I've always been that little bit faster. I've always been that
Next
little
week,
bit better.
next week we're playing a backhand only round.
Alright.
He's like, God damn.
I might not have a backhand.
Don't worry, none of us can forehand either.
No.
So.
Oh, that's going to be good. That round's going to be interesting.
To be fair, I think I've got my mid-range right, and I've got my putting right with the backhand. It's just the driving.
Yeah.
It just goes completely off.
But I almost think, what's the point in learning the backhand
You
when
don't
your
need to.
forehand's so good?
Yeah, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You need it. You do need it. There's
It gets
certain
you a
shots I
different
can't
angle,
get to,
Yeah.
and I know that
And
I
it's
could if
normally
I had a
the
backhand.
shots that you can't make are weirdly the ones where you go to me. This is perfect for you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's weird.
It's just weird.
Yeah, but because how I throw it, and like you say, it always S's, and it always goes to the right first, and I've got to have that space to get it to go right first
mine.
before it comes left.
Yeah.
Before it goes back round, sorry,
Whereas
it goes
when
left
mine
and then
is-
back right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got to sort of throw it right, comes back to the left, then back right.
Yeah.
That's how it S's for me.
Yeah.
But like you say,
With mine S, they do it the other way, don't they?
yeah, yours go like that, yours go like that, and then come back.
Yeah,
You
true.
pick it up in 10 minutes, mate. You know,
It has been.
I've just got to spend more time over the park actually doing big drives
Just
instead
big
of doing.
chuckers.
Well, like I say, we were talking about sticking to one thing instead of not going to different things.
yeah.
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 Moving on before you've actually got it to a T. So I'm sticking with putting at the minute. I'm
Yeah, fair.
practicing because I feel as though I need to get the big long putts perfect.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing in a minute. I'm
Yeah.
starting to hone that banger in on the longer putts. And
That's why half my discs have come out my bag, and the only putter I'm using is my Sensei.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day. Your bag was extremely light. Like you
Yes.
weren't.
There's
You've
lot-
took a
that was
fair
a
out.
lot not in it.
I've took a fair bit out. I think we've all kind of took
over-
things out,
yeah.
haven't we? A little bit?
anything over 10 in the minute is out.
I think I've took
Yeah.
over half out of my bag.
To be
Really,
fair,
yeah.
I've got to take some out of my bag because I just don't.
I
throw
feel
it.
that's it, ain't it? It's like we're all like crack addicts for plastic and buying loads of discs, and now we're just like, right, we're just having a smaller bag. And now we're just putting stuff out so we can understand, like.
I'm still going to buy more discs.
Yeah, of course we are.
I'm buying more of the same disc.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
yeah, you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
So tournaments. I've now entered 3. Richard's entered 2.
Yeah.
You boys just a 1.
Just one, yeah.
Well, I've entered 2.
Yeah, we entered 2, and then we just that happened. Oh, yeah.
So recently we played Cotswolds View. Not the right course? Yeah, that's the right
Yeah.
course. It was a good tournament. I enjoyed it.
It's a good course.
Shame it wasn't advertised too well because we could have had a bigger turnout. It was a bit close to the Bristol one. There was only like a 2-week turnover, wasn't
I
there?
think no, it was 4 weeks.
Was it 4 weeks?
Yeah.
It wasn't that big a turnover, was it? Like, but I'd say both tournaments were quite well put together. And the Gillies tournament that we all went to, that was quite. I think the Gillies tournament was organised much better.
Yeah, fair.
And
Yeah,
that's probably because Andrew's got that experience.
yeah.
You know, he's
I was just about to say that.
yeah. The tournaments that me and Richard entered were run by younger lads.
Right, okay.
Newer boys.
Yeah, they were keen. They hadn't missed anything out. They were just a bit confused at times. Like you'd ask them questions and they looked at you a bit gone out.
Well, I feel like that's with anything, ain't it? Especially if it's like their first time, there's only room for improvement. But also, it's like knowing me with my background with miniature gaming and running tournaments and stuff like that. The first one or the first few you're going to do, you're always going to be like not so sure, and there's always going to be people who are probably more know what they're doing, and then obviously you just improve every time you do tournaments. Like you just improve as organising how we can do it and stuff like that, and just word of mouth and stuff like that.
So would you recommend that people at our level go to tournaments?
I'd say yeah. Gillies was eye-opening, I would say, for all of us, because we went the week before and we felt pretty confident going in, and then
What that did show us was how bad we all were.
I feel like
That's what that did.
yeah, because I feel
Right.
like the round one, my group certainly were on. Like I was like, okay. So the first thing I started asking was like, how long are you guys played for and stuff like that. And then when they say certain years or a couple of months, you're like, oh okay. And like when they say like, yeah, I've been playing for 5 years, you're like, okay, cool. But no, it was fun. I feel like it's the only way to like improve yourself instead is participate in tournaments and go with a realistic goal. I feel like for me, when I went personally, I said, I know I ain't gonna win, but I want to know what a tournament feels like and go and have fun. And I definitely had fun, and it was eye-opening as well. And it sounds a bit of a cop-out because everyone's like, yeah, but tournaments. And it's like, no, if you know me, I'm really not that competitive. So it's like really funny, like trying to be competitive. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, that's like the polar opposite of what I normally am. But it is actually a ton of fun because you get to learn rules and just really being like in those situations where if you're just playing with your mates, you can take a little bit longer on certain things, but with a tournament it's like you need to make sure you're doing this, you're doing that. There's so many little things I learned during that tournament, like what I can and cannot do which
Like
I've now
finding your disc
implemented.
today, like 3 minutes to find your disc.
Yeah,
3
that
minutes
was
start
3
now.
minutes starts now. It's just little things as well. Like I completely forgot about like jump puts. Is like I did a jump put and they're like, yeah, Lee, you can't do that. And I was like, why? That's just a normal jump. They're like, no, it has to be like 10 feet. So now every time I look now, I'm like, that's more than 10 feet now. I just got to figure out how the distances are and stuff like that, and
10
just
meters.
or 10
10
meters.
meters.
Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a good distance.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of like, okay, I've got to figure this out. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And I think it's kind of eye-opening as well, especially if you're new and you want to start doing more tournaments and stuff like that. I feel it's hard trying to find it if you're not on social media, because I feel like there's more advertising on social media these days than there is just like, oh yeah, it's here, here, and there. But other than that, I would recommend it. It's a good day out, and like obviously if you're going there wanting to take on the world, good luck and have fun. But like for the first few tournaments, I want to enter. I just want to go have fun and figure it all out, like, and have like I want to finish middle of the park, or like if I'm near the bottom, I don't mind. Like where I finish, not that bothered.
That's what I've learned by playing tournaments. So we played Gillies, and I was very much of the, I'm going to have fun, but I want to do okay. I want to finish somewhere in the middle. And to be fair, you know, I finished like 4 from bottom, 5 from bottom, something like that. And I was happy with that. And then we went to the one in Bristol, and I had a couple of massive out of bounds, like +7 holes, like, and then just the urge to win took over me. So I'm then playing stupidly big shots and getting myself into a bigger mess. And I was like, right. So then the Cotswolds one. So here's a beginner tip for anybody. Right? Just a bonus beginner tip. Enter MA4, regardless of how good you think you are, regardless of what you read online. Enter MA4.
So when you say MA, I'm always confused by this, because you go, I'm always like, I'm just going to play with you boys, so I need to make sure whatever group you're in, I'm in. So when you say MA, is that just amateur male?
No,
Mixed.
it's mixed.
Oh, mixed. Oh yeah, sorry,
Mega
2023. My bad. Sorry, guys. There's a controversial topic. Because is it just mixed amateurs and then whatever group it is? So the lower the number,
The higher the number.
the higher. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go in the bottom one or whatever it is. That's fine.
MA4 is the bottom one. So
Okay.
We've been playing an MA3.
Yeah, so when we
Okay.
when we looked online before our first tournament, it said MA3 can typically throw this far. I think it was like 80 meters on the drive.
Okay.
Can put from the outer circle. We can do that
Yeah.
on a good hole.
On a good hole. Yeah, fair play. On a hole we know.
So what we learned is that you need to do that consistently.
Okay.
On holes you know,
Right.
on holes you don't know, and we learned very quickly that we were in the wrong league. So when I entered MA4, when we went to the Cotswolds, I got my expectations up again, and I was like, oh, I'm going to smash it. But I had such an awful first round. There was just no coming back for me. My second round was actually not that bad.
It was just your first. Do you think also, right, so here's our thing, because we laugh at this. Do you think because we don't warm up as much as some of the people that we've seen at tournaments?
Lately, I have to stop you there. You said we don't warm up as much as some of the people at tournaments. We don't warm up.
That
End of sentence.
Okay, so there we go. Because I feel like when we've gone to some tournaments, we see people like warming up with like stretch bands and other stuff like that, and we're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a Coke now and just figure out like I'm ready to go. I'm gonna do a bit of stretching. There we go.
That's what
It's like Sunday league.
Drinking tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not time for doing exercise.
It's quick fag time before.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Start.
Cigarettes and like whatever.
Yeah.
Might affect, because I feel like it's quite funny for some of us, because we're just kind of like, oh yeah, why is our scores getting better the later we are in the round? Oh, we've warmed up now, my arm's like in motion, I'm like there, you know.
There's definitely something in that league.
Yeah, there definitely is. But I definitely think also we're not all going to go run out and get like stretchy bands and be like, yep, I'm going to start doing like vertical lifts before the tournament and squats and whatever.
I've already got the bands. That's
Oh, he's ready.
Yeah, so Lexi said to me, she goes, Dad, you've got some of them in the cupboard, ain't you? I was like, yeah, I have, yeah.
I'm waiting for the next tournament we go to. The Kirby boys show up and they're all ready to go, and you and me are just like,
The matching sweatbands.
I was just
Like,
about
true.
to say that.
yeah.
No, you want ones with the headbands.
With their headbands on.
We're both there just ready for teas and like protein bar or whatever. We're like, I'm good to go, guys. No, I think there is something to that. But I also think as well, like, just go out and have fun. I think, honestly, that's it, isn't it? Because I think everyone has different expectations. And it's obviously down to you personally. If you go in saying, I want to go, I don't know, like 1 over or 2 under, and then you don't do that.
We can't even do that at Bedworth, mate.
Okay. then basically it just goes, your mindset then effectively will change, won't it? Because you just immediately go like, oh, I've done terrible, so, and you should really just have a mindset of like, what did I want out of this? I've got to keep that mindset instead of just going immediately to the negative mindset.
Or, curveball, if you have a really bad round, just play a stupid round. Because, yeah, already screwed. So, just be like, I'm going to throw this disc. Which is what I do.
You see, I'm less likely to do that at a tournament.
Okay.
Why? You're already
Well, the first,
miles
if
behind.
your first round, yeah, because I
What if it
feel like
works? Like,
if your first round doesn't go well, then
why does it matter?
have the Ben mentality or
Exactly.
go for the Kirby mentality of like, I can only improve from my next round. Because if you play the next 18 again, you're like, this is where I went wrong. I threw this last time. I can try something different.
Yeah.
But something random.
Or, I know the zombie could do the distance, but what I did, I aimed at that tree and I was a bit too far right, so this time I'm going to aim at that tree to the left and not end up out of bounds.
Yeah.
Or just throw the condor.
And just pray and hope that it don't blow away.
Exactly.
Blows all the way up there.
Yeah,
Like, hopefully there's no wind down there.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
That was brilliant on Sunday. You threw it, he just went. Phew.
Mate, we were just like, the winds on Sunday, we were just like, yep, so we know it's coming up from the left, and it's like, then the wind goes left and right, and then up, and then down. It was like basically just...
The wind was different for everyone's throw.
yeah, it was insane. But that's why we play
We try and
in Crazy Withers.
judge our next throw on the person before's wind, and then
Yeah.
completely different.
100%.
At some point, it's blowing downwards, like into the ground.
Yeah. It's like, it did not go far. The wind just rejected that from
Wind.
the air.
Mental.
Yeah, but tournaments at our level, I think that you need to enter them with the same mentality as you go into your Sunday practice rounds of, I'm there to have fun.
Yeah.
Because if you go in expecting to win or expecting to do well and you have a bad round, because when you think about your typical Sunday rounds, I am always getting sub 20 on a Bedworth round now.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that this Sunday I'm not going to get plus 25.
Yeah. Fair.
And if that happens on tournament day, happens on tournament day. And you have to just be able to get on with it and just carry on having fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's what tournaments have taught me. I've not done particularly well, but I've had fun at every single one. So, as an avid listener of our podcast, you know that we do disc of the week. So, you can start this week.
I know what it is.
I'm really intrigued to see what disc this is.
I know what it is.
Macca Packa. It's a pie wacka wacka from RPM.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Uses
It's
this.
a mid-range disc.
Yeah, but you use it as a putter.
No, that's the Takapoo.
Takapoo.
Macca Packa doesn't always come out, but when it
No.
does,
But it's
Yeah.
really interesting. The RPM
So-
discs have great names.
So if you remember when we went down Barwell, the Macca Packa, I threw it, I gave it some real power, and I threw it completely wrong, and it went straight into a thorn bush. And then I tried to get it back with a big stick, and I knocked it even further into the thorn.
When he says a big stick, right,
it was a log, wasn't it?
Yeah, we are talking
it wasn't
about.
log either, mate. We're talking about
An actual
an
tree.
8-foot. No, it was an 8-foot post. And I've just got this 8-foot post trying to get it back, and I've laid it
Amazing.
down on the thorn bush, and I was like, I more or less got it. And my brother says, "What do you think about knocking it over?" And I went, "You know what? I think you're right." So I tried to whack it, and it didn't go. Then I realised that it was actually going down to a ditch that was covered in thorn bush, and I was like, "Oh, great!"
Solid.
Right.
So I then returned the next day, fully clothed, with my work clothes and stuff on, and hoodie, and gloves, and a rope, and I lowered myself down into the ditch and through the thorn bush, and I got my disc back.
I literally love that. I Indiana Jonesed into this. with rope and
The worst thing
everything.
is halfway through, and I'm looking at the disc. I'm like, do you really want this disc?
Is
I'm
it
like, you
worth
know
it?
what?
The answer is always
No, but I looked up and then I realised how far I'd gone into the floor bush. And I was like,
I've committed to this.
I'm getting
now.
it. And I'm
yeah,
gonna...
always yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Like when I went over that big
Oh,
gorge
over the top
at
of
Bedworth.
I honestly
And
thought you were gonna
threw
die.
yours all the way. No, the leopard went all the way down, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
I was like, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
And you were like, it's a bit far. I was like, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
We've got this. I'm committed to this.
And I just went for it.
I was more concerned on that day how slippery it was. It had not been raining, hadn't it? And
Yeah,
it
but-
wasn't.
Yeah.
I was getting it.
Yeah, but also the fact is, it's just like you went like, oh yeah, it's fine, and then it just goes from being like a bit of a slope to then a vertical
It is like
drop.
that, yeah.
You're just like, yeah, you're gonna die
You
if
won't
you
be
slip.
getting that right now, though, would you?
Yeah.
You'd be looking down there, then stingers are going.
Nah.
you right?
Nah.
Well, you're asbestos man, so you're fine.
The trick is to use the discs as spades when you climb back up.
Yeah, I remember that vividly. That was amazing. It's like your scene from Cliffhanger, but with golf discs.
Well, I've been down there a few times. It reminds me of the scene in The Karate Kid when Danielson's like dangling off near the bonsai tree.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what was it Karate Kid 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Is it
remember that.
three?
No, it's
No,
one.
is it?
No, it's
No,
not.
it's two.
No,
It's got to be two. It's two.
I'm the chosen in it.
Wait a minute.
When they go to
No,
Is it
And
two or
Osaka.
one? It's
in
three.
one.
it's not in one.
It's not in one. I've recently
It's when
watched
they go
one.
to Osaka.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you now. It's not
Or
one.
Okinawa, whichever one
Yeah,
it is.
maybe it is two.
They go to somewhere.
I've got a sneaky suspicion it's three. It's off. It's in there. It's in America, isn't it?
No, it's in Japan.
It's in Japan.
It's number 2.
I swear, there's a scene in 3 with like him like trying to
'cause
save a
that's Mike
sponsor.
Barnes.
Yeah, but
Nah,
Mike
I
Barnes
don't
also
think
was a
that's it.
dick with all the young guys though as well. It wasn't just Mike
I'm
Barnes.
sure
There was
it's
other
in
guys
Japan.
as well.
We'll figure that out and get
That's
back
an
to you.
argument for another day. I bet people are listening to this podcast yelling, goes like, "You guys don't know anything about your Karate Kid trivia." Anyway, let's get back to Let's get back to discs.
Yeah, so believe it or not, that was not Richard's story. That was just Richard talking about his disc of the week. So what makes it your disc of the week? What makes the Macca Packer the disc of the week?
It's because on Sunday I just kept giving amazing mid-range shots with it, and it was perfect. It did everything I wanted to, but I didn't give it as much power. It was all shots where it got to be technical and get it to a certain point, so it worked perfect.
So you said you thought you knew what he was going to say. Did you think he was going to say the Macca Packer?
Yeah.
You see, I thought he was going to say the Crank or the Rat.
That's what I thought. I thought he was going to say crank. That was my thing. But that's for another time, I guess.
But
The only other
the
option for
Firebird
me
as
was
well.
the
Was
No,
it?
the Firebird
Ah,
is by far
Firebird.
my favourite disc.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's my favourite disc. Like, by far. And that's why, like I said about I'm buying extra discs.
Yeah.
I've
Multiple
got
fire.
another.
Getting as many
I'm
Firebirds
actually-
as you can.
Oh no, I'm actually getting a Firebird. I'm getting a Firebread. Because
Oh,
it's
you
the
said.
infinite disc, and if they've changed it and they've
Love
put
that.
a bread that's got flames on the top of it.
I love that.
And it's just amazing.
Love that.
My disc of the week is the Glory.
Oh, we were waiting for this.
The most expensive disc in my bag.
It's true.
I very nearly scored a birdie with it this week. That's not the reason that I've chosen it for disc of the week.
Okay.
This week, because of the wind, I found myself in lots of positions where I was basically throwing what I can only describe as a boomerang shot, where I was basically trying to throw back on myself because I've come out of the corner that badly.
Yes.
And this happened several times. Now,
When you'd go so far right, you'd miss the trees to the right of the hole.
oh, yeah. But
That was good.
there was a few where I was basically having to throw a right angle as well.
Yeah.
And the Glory, it's not a great disc for throwing straight, but it's an absolutely fantastic disc to throw that right angle. To throw up in the air and then it come back down and go to the
Finish.
left or right.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant for it.
Fair. So a good technical disc then.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Yeah. I was a bit disappointed when I first threw it. I brought it when we went. Did we get Mount Mowbray that day?
Was it Mount Mowbray or was it Quarry?
Oh no! I'll tell you what. We weren't Mount Mowbray the day after. We went to
The warehouse.
Yeah, we went to the warehouse and bought it.
Yeah.
And then we went to the one with the door numbers on. I can't never remember what that is.
Charlie Park or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you bought that. Yeah, because we went the Disc Golf UK kind of site because you got the glory then and I got everything.
You bought the
I bought
FD
3.
and MD and...
I bought PD, DD3, and then a Sensei again. Yeah, and then you bought the glory. I put
Which cost me about as much as your disc. No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. No, not at all. No, nowhere near, mate. About half price though, I would say.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
It's still a 26 quid disc.
It is the most expensive disc in your bag. Well,
But it's a first run, so
that's why it's expensive. And you can hilariously say it's the first run. I got a first run disc. Has anyone else? No.
And yeah, I'm thinking about buying another first run by Latitude, but I think if Latitude, I've got a problem. Outside of disc golf, I've got a problem wherever you slap Sony onto anything, I'm interested. And I'm starting to get a lot of that with Latitude in disc golf. If you see, honestly, I saw a Latitude beanie the other day. I don't even wear a beanie, and I looked at them and thought, yeah.
I get it.
I just want this. I need to own this. Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Go on, Lee. What's your disc of the week?
I'm trying to think because I'm like, I haven't bought up the Sensei, but I think we might have bought it up on a.
Done it.
We've done the Sensei.
Yeah, you did it as a duo.
Yeah. So it's got to be then. Because I'm running out of discs in my bag because I don't have as much crack as you guys, to be honest. Like mine is just like, yep, I've done that and it's good. That's good. Because I'm like trying to think of like discs I've talked about and not talked about, but then we've kind of shared discs as well. Let's go. Yeah. MD3. MD3 probably is the new one in my bag because that's funny enough replaced the Buzz in my bag, the Buzz SS. No, I have the Buzz SS, but it is the same. It's the same width and shape as the Buzz, but its stats are a little bit different. I believe it's a 5501. The MD3. No, the Buzz is like.
The Buzz is different.
Yeah, the Buzz's numbers are a little bit different because it's like a. No.
5403 maybe.
Yeah,
It's definitely different, and that's why I wanted it, and also because I keep saying that I just want to stick with one brand. Let's move away from those discs. Like I think the Buzz SS is a phenomenal disc. I will tell everyone. I feel like if you need to learn how to throw mid-range, that's like the perfect disc. Like Dynamite. I know you hate it, but Dynamite are definitely Buzz boys.
You were Buzz boys.
But we've evolved from it. I feel like we
Buzz
started on the
boys.
Buzz boys, and now we've kind of gone like we know how to throw mid ranges. We've moved off the Buzz, and we've gone our own different paths.
It was just a phase.
It was a phase, but they were good.
The Zombie is such a better disc.
Yeah, and I feel like the Buzz is a good beginner.
Don't tell Paul Macbeth that.
Nah. But no, so the Buzz SS for me, I enjoyed, and now I'm like, because we had that discussion on our podcast about like, would we stick with one brand? And immediately, because I love that C-line skid mark plastic, as we like to call it in our group, I was like, I'll get it, because when I looked online and they did comparisons with other mid-ranges, it was the same thickness as the Buzz, and I immediately went, well, that solves my issue, because that was the one thing I was looking.
You didn't get the Samurai one though.
Yeah.
That looked badass.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it might be in an infinite disc basket. What, the Iron Samurai?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very
I've
good
got no
disc.
interest in buzzers, but every time I go on Ace and I see those American flag buzzers, I'm like,
Oh, that's
America 3.
America 3!
so many
It's like, I hate buzzers, but that America 3
But
could
it's
have.
so America.
It is
Like,
so America.
And that's the only reason I want it.
100%. Well, no, yeah, because obviously I think I want to kind of go towards one type of plastic, so I want to kind of merge over there eventually.
But they all do different things.
They all do
so
different
you can't
things.
have all the same.
And the
one.
MD3 it's been fine so far, and bad. But also I'm learning a new disc, so I'm just learning
that's part of it.
which is fine, because when I've thrown it on practices, I'm like, I've thrown it with the Buzz, and it does exactly what the Buzz does, and I'm like, this is great. And then when I need to throw it in like games we've played, I'm like, that is not how I throw. But then, to be honest, my drives recently have
all
been
got discs like that.
trash. So that's the
We've
one
all
thing
got
that's been letting me
discs that
down.
We throw when we're on our own, and they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
You throw it, and it
Goes, oh no.
See ya.
See ya. Yeah, it's true. So yeah, I would rate. I'm gonna keep on the Discmania bandwagon and go MD3. Very
Sweet.
sexy. Orange stamp with the see-through blue. It's quite tasty. So
So one disc left.
yes.
Yeah, and it's not an Innova disc.
Dun dun dun.
It's America 2 or the Hellfire.
Yeah.
That's a good disc.
Yeah, it does its job, which is turn.
Dramatically
really
turn.
aggressively turn.
100%. Yeah, because what does it do? Because it finishes really, really hard one way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And for you, because you're a lefty, it finishes hard right. If we threw it, it would finish hard left, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a lighter Raptor for me.
It's
when I'm
very, yeah,
thinking
it'd be the glory for me.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like thinking now how it floats because we.
It's a 10305.
Speed. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So
It's the
like
highest speed
one
disc in my bag.
Yeah.
It's literally used to turn corners.
Is that all it is for corner turn?
For me, it's like aggressive corner turning.
You see, that, I suppose it's more like the Alex for me then, because that's a 10 speed. That's just an aggressive corner turn. I mean, I use the glory over that, but
I
But
feel.
I've over weeks and months of using it for aggressive corner turning, I've now got it to a point where this week when I threw it round that, when you threw it round that corner, and
Oh,
it
the
went
perfect. Yeah.
in,
Perfect turn. Yeah.
landed pretty close.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
yeah.
yours was closer, but you had to fight through trees, didn't
Yeah, mine literally skimmed through.
you? Yours
trees,
went
yeah.
through. Mine
Yeah.
missed everything.
Yeah, it literally like.
And just landed a bit short.
Yeah.
Mine
True.
took the line, but
Yeah, you had the
didn't land where I
perfect
wanted
line
it.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's just from working angles with it, because that's all I do with it.
yeah.
I know that I can get it to go.
It's good to have done this in your bag.
But I feel like for you, it is a.
At some point,
It's
I'm
a
gonna
good.
figure out how to throw it straight.
But it's a great utility
Not
disc.
for a while.
Yeah. But for you, I feel like it is like what Dan says. It's like a perfect utility disc for you. You know exactly what it does, so it goes hard right. So if you need to go hard right, you're like, I'm throwing America 2, Electric Boogaloo, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
America,
exactly.
as we always call it.
No, it's just America now.
It's just America.
R.I.P. America 1.
Sorry, Phil. We lost it again.
Please find it.
Please find it. Where did you lose it?
Fairways.
Fairways.
Yeah.
Psychic vibe.
So yeah, beginner tip. Yeah, we touched on this earlier actually. Play your own game, not everyone else's.
Yes.
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 We all don't do this. We're
Oh,
all
yeah.
pretty bad at this. We're all like, what's the score?
Yeah.
And,
I hate it.
and obviously, because I'm typically the scorekeeper, I'm probably the worst for it because I will
You can see the scores.
I will see one of you either catching me up or creeping ahead.
I
And I'll
should
be
just
like,
not
well,
ask.
I now need to
'cause
play
No,
better.
I can't ask because Dan will tell us anyway, and I've led from a few rounds, and then pardon my French, and I lose, and I'm like, that's because my mindset went of I'm winning. This is actually different.
Oh yeah, I did that shot on purpose. If there's only a point in it between me and you, I'm like, I'm telling Lee the score.
Yeah, of course. That's it. It's a prize. I think the best way to describe it is go watch our foreplay video where literally you go like, Lee, throw the condor to finish, and they go like, I'm not going to tell Lee the score, but I want him to it up with a condor. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty
Take a book
funny.
out, take a leaf out of Mind Games Middleton's book.
I'm literally about to say that. Putting the wig on top of the net.
Mate, loved that.
That was actually something we didn't discuss last week when we discussed the weekend away. The
The
old
wig.
The wig, the birthday wig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good fun.
So we had a wig, and whoever lost the last game, and we played some pot-offs and all sorts, but whoever lost the last round,
Yeah.
last hole, had to then wear the wig for the next hole.
And it became a health hazard because, as Dan mentioned
And
week
it
as
was
well,
hot.
it was hot and it was like, right, it started quite light. And then if you think about it, there's 4 of us here and all of us sweat at different times or whatever. At certain points, it was like, right, I'm just going to, wow, this went 10 kilograms heavier all of a sudden. This is disgusting. And it just puts off your game as well.
You got to
It's
remember,
bad.
I'm bold, like, so when it hit my head, I knew how wet it was.
It was just, it
My
got,
trick was wearing it on top of my hat.
yeah,
Never
you
touch
cheated a bit.
My head again.
Yeah,
Like,
it got very moist. That's the best way of describing it.
on top of my head.
there were some mind games out.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Placing it on top of the basket was a good one for me.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
There's definitely got to be another wig brought.
Another wig off.
With an afro.
My favourite stat from that weekend was not losing. a wig put off.
That's true, actually.
Any put off for the wig all weekend.
You were
I
solid.
didn't lose. We played other put offs, I lost.
But the wig put off.
Every time it was for the wig, I was
Undisputed
there.
champion.
no chance. I wore it enough as it was, so if I got a put off out of it,
Mm.
I wasn't wearing it.
But yeah, go back to the beginning tip. We got distracted there. But yeah, play your own game. Like, compete against yourself.
Yeah.
Know how you're getting better. Don't worry about how the other people around you are getting better or worse. Let them play their own game. Play your own game. Realise where your strengths are, your weaknesses, and build upon them.
Yeah.
And play your own game. I mentioned this earlier when Richard, we were talking about Richard playing backhand. Richard hasn't got a backhand drive, but he plays his game, a forehand drive, and outdrives us all.
Yep.
Doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it, but he does need it, but he doesn't need it.
Well, literally, like
The big debate.
not last weekend. The weekend before, we was at Bedworth, and on hole 3, which is hole 4,
Yeah.
I decided to do a
Throw it
backhand,
didn't you?
and I the hole completely.
Yeah. Didn't you?
Yeah.
But then I said to you, didn't I? I'm going to backhand it all the way, and I backhanded it all the way, and I every single shot.
Awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, play your own game.
100%. But I feel we always seem to, like, when all of us play, we all get kind of a little bit competitive, but also just like, man, he just bombed that. I think I need to bomb that. Like, you know, we kind of have that mindset a little bit as well. And especially when someone drains a putt and then you're kind of like...
The worst for me is one of you go before me and you hit like a tiny window, and my brain will go, well,
I can do that.
if Lisa's hit it, I can hit it.
Yeah,
And then
that's
I
the
smash
issue.
into the tree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mate, is when you're at the tournaments and you're out driving the pros, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I just out driving pros.
I feel like it is that, because you kind of
Yeah,
fall in the mindset. It's like,
that's it.
I need to throw this disc, and then we throw a shot, and then we're like, right, I know we're only playing for fun. Can I throw the disc I want to throw? And you just go like, oh, I've got to trust my instinct. Got to entrust my instinct the first time instead of just going, I'll try throwing this.
Yeah.
No, I don't do that anymore.
I think hole 8 has
That's why
really
I
changed
took
a
so
lot of
many
this.
discs out
Yeah.
of my bag because I'm like, there's no temptation now.
Yeah,
I'll
fair.
throw the stuff I know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and play
That's fair.
play your own game.
Yeah.
that's fair.
So, next topic. Where the did that go?
Where the did that go?
A
So-
riveting series.
So it's obviously jokes amongst the disc golf community about the fact that you spend more time in the bushes and the trees trying to find your disc than you do throwing the discs. But I can actually say there's an argument for that being the case with us.
No, absolutely. I can think of a specific disc that until it ended up at the bottom of a pond, spent more time being looked for in bushes than it did actually being thrown on holes. The Horizon.
I thought the Horizon.
Did that not go in the pond?
No, did
Well,
No.
okay, well then it still exists, but it definitely still gets looked for.
More than any other disc.
I don't know because we look for the
I'm
same.
pretty sure.
I was
it
about
is.
to say the same.
I say get something
Those
else.
two
God.
discs. At Gillies, I swear we were looking for that Horizon for about 3 hours.
You do know, we all know what the problem is with the Saint, don't we?
Yeah.
It's
not
not,
the right orange.
It's not the right orange.
It's not the right
champion
orange.
It's not
mate.
champion orange. Shout out in for champion. Orange.
Orange.
You see that colour from
7 million miles
the
away.
other teapad. Like,
But we call Lee the magician because he can throw a disc 5 foot in front of him into the shrubs and it just vanishes.
Well, that's it. We keep jokingly say if we ever made our own discs, my disc is going to be called the Bushwhacker because I'm always in a bush. Like, no joke. Like, it is. I do not know how.
because the river's taken as a disc name.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good
Well, to
one.
be fair,
That's a good
what was
one.
you calling me earlier? The scrambling man.
The scrambling man.
I spend most of my time scrambling in the
Throwing
bush.
out of bushes.
It's
Like,
true though. We've recently developed a skill of throwing into a bush, and then we're just like, oh no, that's it's in a bush, and like no, it's
Yeah, but now
in a bush.
We're throwing them so far in. Like,
Well, I made a comment this Sunday, and after I made the comment, my brain went, that's kind of a backhanded compliment you've just given yourself. So the comment I made was, scrambling has become the best part of my game. I spent so long in bushes.
Throwing out of bushes.
You've had so much practice in the bushes.
I love that. It is pretty funny.
The count's never been used so much.
No,
It's the perfect scrambling disc for Dan now, isn't it?
Oh mate, it is the perfect scrambling disc. I recommend a count to everybody that ends up in the bushes. But our new favourite game is you throw a disc.
It'll head towards the bushes, and then it'll be probably me that goes, where
The
the
f- that go.
Yeah, it's when the ones that hit the bushes with speed quite high up, and you're like, this is going to
That
take
one
you
that
ages.
hit the top of that tree, and I was like, it's gone.
Yeah,
So we don't know where it came down, and I
Yep.
walked through that giant spider's web.
Oh,
It
what
wasn't-
that? Oh,
it wasn't
Yeah.
actually that deep.
No,
No, it
It
wasn't.
wasn't, but where we ended up going, we went
in
through
so
cotton.
high, and then,
it just disappeared.
yeah,
Yep.
it fell into such a vast area of woods.
It is true. Like thinking about, we love losing discs,
Yeah.
and I know 2 are still in there. I'm just waiting for winter to come. Like, literally, I'm just basically like Game of Thrones over here, just like winter is coming. I will get 2 discs back, unless
two?
it is 2. I'm going to tell you now, it's the PD and the Mentor. Like I'm not
they're
supposed to
both
have
Where did the mentor go?
the Mentor hole 3/4. You know the one up the hill.
Yeah.
That bush, it went in there and it just vanished. And I was like, it's bright blue. I found it multiple times. I threw it also into a bush and I found it immediately because it's bright blue.
Shazam.
It went in there and just went gone. And
Not
yeah,
champion orange.
it's not
That's
champion
the
orange.
problem, mate.
That's the issue.
Well,
So
my scientist brother-in-law said he's got some chemical we can spray on them. Their UV light will shine back in daylight,
okay.
but he's busy at the minute touring the world looking at hydrocolliders and the like. So once he's finished being an
Yeah.
actual scientist, I'm gonna get him on some discs and.
Oh, I'll
Disc
give him
science.
one of my crappy ones to see if it works and just be like, yeah, let's try this. I want to see if this works. Is this a thing?
To be fair, I don't think he's going to do it because when he was talking to me about it, he referred to it. He said, "I'll get the boys in the lab to do it, like he's James Bond or something."
I'll get my minions and henchmen to do it.
More importantly, disc science. If you are worried about throwing a disc over a water hole, if you spray it with water-resistant spray, it will not go in the water. That is science.
It will just bounce off.
It will just float over the top.
I love the fact that you spray everything with water resistance. Like, yeah, it's science.
If you spray your hat with water-resistant spray, when it rains, it will simply avoid you completely.
Like a Chinaman.
Basically has a barrier. It's like a force field. It doesn't actually land on the plane.
Just all the way around.
All the way around. I just walk in a mist. Oh,
Sorted. Science.
science. I love that. The fact
Science
every
with
time
Ben.
you say it all the time, it's like just science. It's just a great throwaway comment.
So we've only got one thing left.
Okay.
Our disc golf stories.
Oh. That's funny as hell.
I want to go first because I know what my story is, and it's not like the longest of stories, but I found it quite funny. I suppose it's, I don't know, funny and terrifying. So we was away for our weekend, and we set up a tent. This was midday on the Friday, wasn't it? We set up the
Yeah,
tent. And then
first.
Yeah,
and
first, yeah.
sun's out, beautiful day, and in the distance we could see. We were guessing what they were. We had guessed peregrines. That's not the right word, is it? Yeah,
Definitely
peregrine,
not
yeah.
penguin.
Birds of prey is what I
Not a
called it. I
penguin.
literally looked at it and was like, that's not what I see
That's
anywhere.
not a penguin.
We'd established even from a distance that these things weren't hawks because they were too big. They weren't falcons. They were too big.
It
They
was
were-
an eagle from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I threw a disc across the campsite, and these birds were a distance away. They were nowhere near the campsite, and I threw my disc across the campsite, and I just went walking along to pick it up. And I don't know which one of you three said it, but one of you was like, "That bird's looking at you." And I looked up, and the bird was hovering over my disc like it was prey, and it was, it's suddenly gone from a bird of prey to a pterodactyl that looked like it could pick me up and take me off to the nest.
They were huge. And the worst thing was, it was like they were all at that campsite for the whole time we were there as well. Even in the evening, it was just kind of like, there's bodies here or something. Like they're just like mellowing out here, like eating things.
That bird was coming for you, Hulk Hogan.
I'm more concerned about the kid than the other side of the park. I was like,
Fire
yeah,
kid.
fire kid, that's the one.
Placing bets was like parenting's out the window. Let's see what can you
That
throw
was
on a
one of the
fire.
best parts of the whole weekend.
Mummy and Daddy are in the back of the truck. I'm going to set fire to something.
Oh, it was so
Fire
funny.
Kid was brilliant.
Fire kid. Oh,
What a weekend.
what a weekend.
Fire Kid.
Oh.
Go on then, Ben, because I know what your story is.
We were playing around in Gillies. I'm pretty sure it was the Horizon that you were throwing.
Yeah, potentially.
That all the same. The
Yeah.
one we've been looking for all day.
In it at Gillies, not all day.
And then it was like hole 8 or 9. Long run of trees all down. One bushy run of trees down one side, and then one just trees run
Yeah,
down the
hole
other side.
8.
Yeah, hole 8
Yeah.
I think. Pretty straight, but loads of trees all over the shop. Gillies.
Just gillies.
And then they've let his drive go, walloped it into the first bush tree area, and was like, well, that was the worst shot in disc golf ever. And then set himself up, did his little look, got his disc, wham! Straight into the very next, or actually the same set of bushes tree, leading to me lying on the ground, actually dying. That was the worst shot ever. And then he did it again.
Then I did a worse shot than the worst shot ever.
It was so
It
good.
was exactly the same shot. It was not the same word. It was exactly the same shot. Ben was crying.
Great.
Oh, God.
So good.
So, moving on, Lee.
Yeah, let's talk about victim number 1, other than Ben and Dan. I don't think I've hit Rich yet, so Rich is off the table. But we'll talk about victim number 1 with a destroyer. So we're at Sherwood Pines, and I think we were filming, weren't we, or wasn't it filming? It wasn't filming day. It was his first.
Even
No,
to a basket. It was
No.
Just
it was.
finishing a round back to the start of a round.
Yeah, and I was like, right, I'm going to throw this destroyer, and it's going to finish left as it always does. So I literally put my bag down, and I just threw it, and I was like, man, that's got some distance. And then the wind just went, ha-ha, and just took it.
It wasn't the wind.
It was the wind. It was the wind, thank you very much. Because it had a Jaws moment. The destroyer is red, and when it sees people, and we've all seen this red destroyer, it target locks onto people. So it's like the shark from Jaws, as I call it. So I just call it Bruce the Destroyer now. And this disc went, and it didn't go left. It went right, and started heading towards some picnic park benches. And I immediately went, that's going to hit someone. And then all I hear from behind me is like, you two losing your laughing, because you're just like, yeah, there's no way you're going to hit anyone. And the disc just kept going, and I was like, oh, shit. So then I yelled to look out, which confused everyone, because everyone on the park benches just looked everywhere.
Full park.
It's a full park as well.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So everyone is looking around anywhere, and I see this destroyer smack this, 7 or 8 year old, right in the ankle. And I just went, oh. And I was like, I'm sorry, mate, I'm really sorry. And literally, he's like, I didn't feel a thing. And then all I hear from the parents of this child go, if you aim for his head, you could have got 100 points. And I immediately went,
That did happen.
and I was like, okay. And just kind of laughed it off and just turned back around. And Dan's face was priceless still to this thing. Just kind of just going like, hell, Lee, we can't take you anywhere. Effectively.
The thing is that might have been your first actual victim, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like a of attempts wasn't made
Yeah.
prior to that.
Quarry Park, where he threw discs at the same. No, he nearly hit a girl.
Yeah, that's
And then
Sorry,
that was
girl.
Quarry Park. And then at
She
Gillies,
wasn't even playing, was
It
she?
wasn't even throwing. That was the mentor and the wind again. And the two yeah,
Or Gillies,
that was
where you
mad.
threw it and nearly hit the same group of girls on every hole. 'cause
They
were
shouldn't be
one-
standing there.
they
That
were
was
one
my
ho-
honest thing.
They were one hole in front of us, and you threw a disc at them every time.
But then they almost got me though. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
They did nearly get
They
you
nearly
once.
got me once.
Or Bedworth when them girls had built that innocent
That was
den.
me.
Was that you?
The innocent den, the innocent den hit was pretty funny.
Well, they absolutely mortared it with a passion.
That was so funny though, because we were just like, let's not aim for it, and then it just went brrrr, target
Oh,
lock.
just dropped in, like
Yeah.
came in through the front of it.
Yeah, so that's the only like non-Ben Dan that I've like hit. Like I'm trying to think. I don't think I've hit anyone else. I've come close.
Oh, I've hit Dan loads of times.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like
Mainly with
bystanders, or should we say innocent bystanders? It was definitely that small child on a bike. Oh yeah, before I just say that, he was also sitting on a bike as well next
Was
to
it
a park
you?
bench.
And I had to literally throw myself to the floor because she threw a buzz.
Yes, and it came out grip lock
It
wrong.
literally came
Yeah.
straight at me.
And to be fair, when we took Lexi,
She did that to me
Richard's
as well.
daughter, she threw it at everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's actually true.
literally.
She did.
Yeah.
Fair play. But
I
no,
think we all had it.
but yeah, no, that's my most funniest story because as soon as I didn't throw that for ages because I was just like the destroyer. Because whenever I throw it, everyone joke. It's a joke in our group now. It's like Lee's throwing a destroyer. How many people are around?
You got two of those now. haven't you?
I know. Yeah. So the red one is a utility disc that I just want to throw everywhere, or shall I say, my scrambling disc. And then the blue one that I got, the anniversary blue one, I was like, I'm just going to use that as my normal driver because I'm a sucker for cool artwork. So that's what I aim to.
On a note of hitting people / getting hit with discs, as it's revealed Richard's and your YouTube name and the reasoning behind it,
Yeah.
my name on YouTube is the Berg Magnet. And this is not just a clever play on words, this is because I've been hit by so many Bergs.
It's true.
I've hit you at least 4 times with a bird.
Yeah, and then I think Lee's hit me twice.
I've hit you twice. Mine's rubbery, so it doesn't hurt as
Mine
much
is
as
not.
Ben's. Ben isn't. Ben's is like solid concrete
What-
compared
what
to
about
mine.
God.
I don't think it was the Berg that hit me that gave me the dead
Archer.
leg. It was the Archer that gave me the dead
That
leg.
was a real good shot. Like,
Bung.
just above just below the knee, right?
Yeah, and it,
Yeah,
like, maybe I
great
had to
shot.
walk it off.
Try to predator disc you, just chop your leg off. Yeah, so yeah, that's my fun, hilarious disc golf story. So, just that one.
And before we move on to Richards, because Ben's the only person left there that would not reveal his name, he's got quick draw because he doesn't have any patience.
Yeah, what our video? Look at our video. He putted before like we even turned the camera on. I love it.
Yeah.
He does
Sometimes
not.
it works, sometimes it don't.
It's true. He just walks up and literally doesn't take the full 30 seconds for a putt or any kind of shot. He just picks it up, goes gone, and he is quick draw Ben. That's why. That's why we love him.
So go on then, Richard, what's your disc golf story?
Well, mine's an actual near miss as well, and it was at my last tournament, my second tournament, and I literally.
Dan's laughing. He knows already. You know it's good when
So-
Dan's pre-laughing.
I'm literally, it's the first hole, first dive, literally it's just about to start, and I'm standing there, and I was like, I was set up with 2 lads that have been doing it for a few years, one a pro, one in the MA1. But they were like just talking me through what to expect at the start. I was like, yeah, no worries, lads, yeah. And I turned around, bent down to get my disc, and as I've bent down to get my disc, I've just heard a bang, and it literally missed my head by millimeters, smashed
Jesus
into the tree,
Christ.
landed on the floor behind me, and someone turned around, one of the lads turned around and goes, "Whose disc's that?" And I went, "That's my brother's disc." And my daughter went, "Is that Uncle Daniel's?" I was like, looked over and there he were. He was like, "Yeah, it was."
Yeah, it was. From my point of view, it wasn't that far away from the basket. The tees and the baskets on this course were relatively close.
Yeah, I agree.
So it was heading toward the basket. It went behind some trees. By the time I realised it was banking too far left, it was too late to shout anything. And I just had to hope for the best.
Fair.
But yeah, literally the basket from that tee pad was probably, what, I'd say 15 foot.
Yeah.
away from the basket.
Ah, okay. So the tee pad was right next to the green,
Yeah,
effectively.
bear
So
in
it's like,
mind that
yeah.
That's for the tee pad, and we're standing behind the tee pad, waiting for the first two to take the tees.
Oh, sugar. So you're
So
literally
we're
over
probably
front,
about
right.
10 foot away from the basket.
What did you throw?
Zombie.
Zombie.
It was a good shot. Like, I birded that.
Good. I'm glad it was a good shot, Dan.
Yeah.
It's like almost
Like I
decapitate
say,
your brother.
That's how close we were to the basket, to be fair. When I looked
Yeah.
at where it was and then I looked at the basket, I'm like...
This is probably not the
That's
best
It-
place to
we're-
stand.
Yeah, we're probably in the really bad spot.
Fair. That's funny. Oh, that's a good
But again, that's down to the planning of the actual course. What they should have done is made sure that we had teed off before you had teed off, because
Yeah.
there was no one in front of us.
Mm.
Yeah. That's something that they could have worked out a bit better, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you all have to start the holes. It's one of them though, isn't it? If you stagger holes, it adds so much time on because it'd be 18.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't stagger one hole.
No, because you couldn't do that. Okay, if you're playing all 18 holes, but because there was such a low turnout, there's only 40 of us. There were holes that didn't have.
We're unmanned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they could have
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it worked out like the people in front of us. There weren't no one in front of us, and then there was the next hole, and it was one missing, and
Yeah.
the other hole.
Because the first half you finished a good 5 minutes before me, and the second round I've done
20
about
minutes
20
or
minutes
more,
before
yeah.
you. Like, it just depending on what group you was in.
I'm about to say,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, it depends how many people you
Yeah,
were with.
because you had a
as
group
well.
of 4 and I had a group of 3,
Yeah.
and me and them two smashed it round.
Like I said, my first round, I was with two lads. One was a pro, one was an MA1, and then my
Yeah.
second round, I was with all MA4s,
Yeah.
and we was
Yeah.
all throwing them in the bushes.
Back where you belong.
He's just like, oh,
That's
this is
what-
my kind of
My
guys.
first tournament, I was playing with like MA2s and MA1s. I was like, great. And they were doing wizardry. And I was like, I'm just going to try and not throw it in the bush. Like,
But round 2, you.
we're back with my people.
Yeah, mate. It was a good round. And we had fun that round. I feel like it was like
No one
us
else
two
did.
having a laugh. I think
We had fun.
we had fun. We were laughing. We had a good time.
We were all entering the Guinness tournament in September, aren't we? That's our next target.
Oh yeah, that
that's
is, isn't
our
it?
plan.
Yeah, yeah, it is, isn't it? September.
'Cause then we've only
Your face.
4.
Yeah.
No, Gillies is a great course. It's
Yeah,
just
I
frustrating
know.
for you.
I know.
It's frustrating for us all.
I got my first birdie at Gillies. That was my
I don't
first
hate
official
Gillies.
birdie.
It's kind of like a tattoo. It's painful enjoyment.
It's painful enjoyment.
Yeah, if the tattoo's with a sledgehammer. like, it's all well, like it is fun, but now
If it's that 18 that
Oh.
we did, God help us.
See, I do.
There
I
will
do
be
that.
18 that we did, but it gets marked out properly.
Oh yeah, but it's still a really bad one.
Yeah.
I hate it. Not Gillies. The stupid 18-hole layout.
I love how we have to keep
The 12's
clarifying.
brilliant. The 12.
Yeah, the 12's great.
And the alphabet one, I love
Yeah,
that. The alphabet
fantastic.
Yeah.
rules.
It's
So
all
good.
good.
Yeah.
I don't actually hate Gillies.
It's just the tournament layout makes you want to, like, just
Headbutt.
napalm everything. What are you going to say? Headbutt what?
Some of the
nail.
Some of the
Oh, a
drives
nail, okay.
you have to do, and it's like
Pinpoint perfect.
you've
It
got
is,
to
ain't it?
literally be pinpoint perfect. If you're not, it's going in a bush.
What I found really interesting is when we spoke to the guy at Guinness about Cotswolds, he was like, Cotswolds is narrower than this.
But
And
it's not.
It's not.
No
Like-
way near.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
Again, I found Cotswolds.
There might
was a
be
bit
3
more,
holes that are
bit
a
more
bit...
technical, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And the trees were open, so
Yeah.
even if you did end up in the trees, you were still in a fair
Yeah,
way-ish.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I say. You got a small gap to get through, but there was.
If you
If you got
some
through
of
the
them,
gap, you were good.
Some of them Gillies holes, if you go off the 3-inch wide fairway,
You're done.
you are actually... Like-
You are. It's like the movie Predator. You
Right.
are literally scrambling for a while.
I have regularly thrown a disc from out of the bushes. I can't see where I'm throwing it. I've been all right out of pure luck,
Yep.
but I've just gone. I'm sure it's over there.
It's just in that direction.
Yeah,
I feel I threw one shot in the tournament where I basically went over like 4 holes and it
Yeah.
just kept going and going and going. And then I was just like, there's no point me throwing back to where I'm supposed to be throwing. I'm just going to go down this fairway. Oh yeah, and there's my hole I can lay up for.
Yeah.
And I just laugh because that's the funny thing. That was also when the raptor took off a branch. That was also
Gillies.
pretty funny.
Gillies, aka where the f did that go?
AKA where the f did that go?
Mate, I love
3 hour
Gillies.
edition.
3-hour edition, party special edition. Oh,
we
I
spent
love
a
it.
lot of time looking for this that day.
Yeah.
It's one of those though, ain't it? Because it's like Gillies is a great course, but
That's
it's such a
like
technical course.
Basically invisible.
Yeah.
I don't understand what it is about that disc, but when it gets lost, it's literally gone.
Oh,
Yeah, no, yeah.
they coming out in Gillies.
It ain't coming
That
out.
and the glory not coming out in Gillies.
Just count only.
We heard it
Anything
first
is not
here.
latitude.
I'm literally gonna say episode 10. We heard it here first. If he throws a glory or the same, we'll just be like, can you remember? Can you remember back, like, you know?
I don't mean
This
ever.
month.
I mean at the tournament. Like, 'cause at the tournament, when you only got 3 minutes to find your disc, I'm not losing all my latitude disc because I decided to throw them at Gillies.
I don't know.
I'm gonna just like throw my disc and chase it like a dog.
I feel like as soon as he throws, everyone else is like, right, everyone else is teeing off. No, Rich is just literally running out after his disc to figure out where it is and then just stand next to it and be like, I'm good.
Go on, tee off.
Have
Crack
fun.
on.
Aim for me. You're all good.
But
Oh.
yeah, no. Well, thank you all for listening. And another episode in the bag. 10 episodes in.
Yeah. It was pretty good though, because we wanted to say like every 10 episodes we're going to get someone on, so it was pretty fun to have our
Our
official
guest.
special guest, unofficial podcast friend, like, because Rich listens to the podcast, so it's like I don't need to listen to this one because I was on this one.
I was still
I
listening.
still listen to it.
You not listen to them.
I edit them, Dan. There's no need to listen to them after editing them.
Yeah,
trust
good,
me.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so you've listened to them over.
Yeah, I've got to make sure all the little fun things are in as well. So yeah, there's only so much I listen to. I download to get our stats up. I'm not going to lie. I do download.
I enjoy waiting to listen to that sound clip that I think this is going to get kicked. This is going to get us kicked off. This is the one, Lee. This is the one where you're taking a liberty.
Well, we'll find out. There's only one way to find out because you will get struck down from either. You'll get a lovely email from Podbean or from YouTube saying, "Yeah, can't really do that. That's
Would you
fine."
please stop playing the Scotty to Watty music?
Well, the funniest thing is bagging it.
Banging it.
Turn it up!
That was interesting.
Turn it up!
It depends
Put it
what
in, put it
imagery. Yeah, it's like literally what imagery we put it into with it, isn't it? That's where you get kicked off. But no, it is funny. We've got a few strikes, but it's like none of these because we're not claiming back. There's no copyright infringement of like we're earning money from this, so we're gonna get this episode taken down. So it's
I'm
fine.
sure Scotty would be fine with it.
Oh, 100%.
Episode 50, Scotty to Watty.
Oh,
Yes.
mate.
That's our goal.
That's our goal.
God, yes.
Scott, if you're listening or
Oh, is
alive
he
by
still
then.
alive?
He is still alive. Yeah, because Grandmaster Sexay
Yeah, he's
isn't.
dead.
He's dead.
It's hard to keep track of.
It is. You know.
Don't die. We've only got 40 episodes to go.
Stay alive, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of years now.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah. Thank you all very much. See you next time.
I'm going to email Scotty too high.